For Nepenthes and all the other plants, the color of the leaves is one of the way you can know if your plant is happy or not. In this video, I will show you different color of Nepenthes leaves and I will let you know what information I get out of them. So, coming up. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Remy and my passion is to grow Nepenthes on Windowsill. I've been growing carnivorous plants since I'm 16 and since I moved to Canada, I decided to focus more on Windowsill Nepenthes. From the beginning, you have to see if the color changing of the leaves are from old leaves or new leaves, because that's gonna be totally different. On old leaves, the color change is totally normal. I mean, all the leaves are dying. It's really like by fall, it will go from a light green to a yellow, to a brown, to a black, and even a crispy gray at the end. So that's totally normal. That's just the leaves that are dying. And usually, if you just got your plants and you can, after a few weeks, see the old leaves dying, it's totally normal. It's not because the leaves are small that they are young. Small Nepenthes will have tiny leaves that can last up to a year. So sometimes you will freak out, oh, the leaves are dying, getting yellowish, brown. But again, if your new leaves are still green, everything's okay. So now we will talk about the new leaves. First, on the new leaves, there is some positive, neutral and negative aspects. Let me explain you. For example, if the old leaves have been getting too much light, they were probably having some kind of sunburn, they are probably reddish, could be having some black spots, so that's not the greatest. It just shows that the plant is getting too much light. And usually the leaves are also smaller. But if you just bought your plants and now it's growing some bigger, green, healthy leaves, that's a good change, right? That means your plant is getting enough light, not too much. So that's a positive, definitely. It could be also neutral. For example, if you just got your plants out of a nursery, it was probably really humid there and with good light and all the stuff. So you bring it home and then the old leaves are getting kind of dusty. They are matte, they are not shining, and sometimes even they will slightly dry. It's just because the old leaves were designed to handle all this humidity, and then the new leaves will be probably thicker, just in order to retain more moisture inside. So again, you will be seeing a change in the color and texture of the leaves, but that's neutral. That's not bad. It's just the plant is getting used to this new environment. And by the way, if it happens, you may also lose all the pictures. But relax, I did a video about why you lose your picture on new plants and it's gonna appear here. So now let's talk about the negative aspect. But before, I would like to ask you a favor. Could you please like this video and consider subscribing, hitting the little bell? That's the best way for you to support this channel and to see more and more videos like that. So now let's talk about the negative aspects. That's actually the opposite of what we talked before. If your plants was healthy before and then on your windowsill the new leaves are going really reddish and smaller and maybe drier, that's maybe that you have too much light. So it's clearly something you want to avoid. Maybe you can put it on a more shadowy place or just putting the plants a feet away from the window. It may help. I also had a case of Nepenthes mirabilis that were growing in my mini greenhouse on my basement. Humid all the time and it was seed grown, so I just had the seed and sow them and get some plants. They were really healthy and happy downstairs in the mini greenhouse because of the humidity. As soon as I put it on my windowsill, as the leaves are really thin, paper thin, I thought I lost the plants. All the leaves dry out like crispy gray immediately, like breakable. So that was really, really bad. All the picture shut down for sure. So I put it on a jar, a cookie jar actually. I will do a video about that later, just in order to keep the humidity. And actually the plants end up recovering. It took a year for this plant to get used to this new drier environment, but now it's pitchering. 2 pitcher, probably that big. So again, you don't lose hope. This kind of brutal change on the leaves are letting you know something. It was way too dry for it. Plants are still able to adapt, so that's really good. And now the last part. If your new leaves that should be green or at least reddish are going yellow, they are no longer really hard, they are really flappy, like dying, that's bad. It's probably that there is too much moisture around the roots. It's root rot. So maybe your pot is sitting on water all the time and the substrate is not drained enough, so all the substrate is drinking this moisture and keeping it, especially with peat moss that can suffocate the roots, so root rot. The plant is no longer able really to drink the water from the roots or to get anything from the roots. You want to at least change the substrate immediately, and if it's a big plant, consider taking some cuttings, because if the roots are too damaged, there is low chance that it will recover from there. But if you are able to take cuttings out of this vining plant, maybe you can have saved this plant. You will be able to clone it, and even if the mother plant dies, you will still have some backup plants. So that's a way to keep the plant. But yes, yellow on new leaves, bad. Too much water, probably not enough light too. So again, read the leaves. What are the color? What are the changes? See if, for example, I have other plants there. The new leaves have a different texture and different color. But when I touch the leaves, it bounces back. Really healthy leaves. Change in color and texture, but still, it's healthy. I can tell by touching the leaves. The color is important, but also how strong and hard are the leaves. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this video will help some beginner that will ask questions about why my Nepenthes leaves are changing colors, why my leaves are turning brown, all that questions. I hope it will help. So relax and until next time, happy growing.